is Sammy. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. We're back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get straight into this video.
Everything in this video is alleged. Everything in this video is my personal opinion and strictly for entertainment purposes only. This video is protected under the fair use. I don't know these folks, so it is not a personal attack. And I didn't make this video to talk down on anyone. I just make great videos with full backgrounds on celebrities, influencers, and reality TV stars. This is not a T-page, but I do hee hee ha ha with my entertainment homies. So let's get straight into it.
What's up, YouTube? Let's get straight into this video.
I found out that my ex was gay through Cashapp. And before I get into how I even got down to the whole Cashapp thing, I want to start with giving you guys a backstory on just him as an individual and why I had suspicions of him being gay from the beginning. So when I first got with Joey, we gonna call him Joey. When I first got with Joey, everything was cool. Like, I had no suspicions whatsoever. Also, I was much younger and I could not clock if somebody was gay or not. Like, I feel like now that I'm older, I can clock it way better than I could when I was younger. I don't even think I had the ability to clock it at all. So anyways, we were together or whatever, and he would do certain things that at the time I didn't think was gay, but now that I'm older, I'm like, that's so like sassy. So he would talk about all of his friends. He was gossiping about everybody. He always compared himself to everybody. It was like he wanted to be the baddest bitch in the room at all times. He would even compete with me. Like, it was very weird. And so moving forward, we ended up breaking up like 2 years in. And I started hanging out more. Like, when I was with him, I wasn't going out. I just disconnected from my friends. So anyways, I had broke up with him after 2 years, and I had reconnected with one of my high school friends. And I did have suspicions of him being gay towards the end. And that was just because of how sassy he was with the gossiping and da-da-da-da and the competition. So I was like, I had these suspicions. So I had talked to my friend. We can call her Ray. So I was sitting down talking to my friend Ray, and I was like, Ray, I have suspicions of him like being gay. And Ray is gonna look at me and she's gonna be like, you don't remember, like, there was a whole rumor that he had in college about him getting some top from this guy in college, this openly gay man in college. I'm like, no, I did not know that. And why didn't you ever tell me? I know we disconnected from each other, but when I first got with Joey, she did not say anything about him. I'm ashy, hold on. She didn't say anything about that rumor from college. So I'm like, okay, girl, so you saw me with this guy knowing that there was this rumor. So anyways, she ended up telling me the story about how in college there was this openly gay guy, and his name was Peaches, and that was his true name. His name was Peaches. And this is no shade to anybody gay. Like, I have multiple gay friends. I don't care if anyone's gay. You know, it's just, I was dating a straight guy, and I was expecting to date a straight guy, but he was DO, which is not fair to me. But anyways, so the guy Peaches went to college with him. And Peaches had ended up, like, opening up to somebody about how Joey got top, or whatever you want to call it, from Peaches, showing the friend text and everything. So anyways, this friend of Peaches outed Joey, like, oh, Joey is gay. Joey got some top from Peaches, da-da-da-da. Whatever. I don't really know all the specifics because this is just like what Ray had told me. So a couple days later, Joey had bumped into Peaches outside in a public like area and fought Peaches for this rumor. And mind you, at the time, I'm still like, dang, I'm still naive. I'm like, dang, that's an allegation.
Did she say Joey fought Peaches for the rumors? Or Peaches fought Joey? Let me just rewind that real quick.
And fought Peaches for this rumor. And mind you, at the time, I'm still like, dang, I'm still naive. I'm like, dang, that's an allegation. And it wasn't proven. So I was just like, an allegation, whatever. But I still was like, why wouldn't you have told me there were those allegations? Because no shade if there's allegations and it gets that deep, low-key, y'all know. And this is no shade to anybody. I just wanted to know, like, if I was messing with somebody who was gay. Like, if he was gay, he could come out and we could be homegirls. Like, I got a gay best friend. Like, we could really, like, do whatever. All three of us could kick it. Anyways, So, it came and went, whatever. I wasn't tripping anymore. I was like, well, I don't know if he's gay. I did have these suspicions. I still don't know, and I'm not here to call nobody gay if they're not. And, so time went by, and me and Joey ended up hanging out again. You know what I mean? Like, we were broken up, but we ended up hanging out. And so I ended up coming over to his place, and we ended up getting drunk. And so I was laying on his bed, like where the pillow is at the top of the bed, and my head's on the pillow, and I'm just chilling, I'm drunk, and my eyes are closed. And then I open my eyes, and like towards the left of the bed, there he is. Yeah, to the left of the bed, there he is with his face down and ass up, like that position, like not arched, but literally head here, butt here, like arched up. And I mean, we were.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's too many gaps in this story, and I am like blue. But okay, we gonna continue. Cause like what? Where did what? That makes no sense. Like, can you go into depth on the conversation? Like, did you just happen to just take a nap in the middle of like? We need some more context. I guess I need more context.
drinking, so I'm thinking like he acting real loose. But that was like the last straw. And I'm not trying to say somebody's gay because they were drunk and ended up.
That's exactly what you're saying. Because he got drunk and he went to sleep ass up face down. So you saying he gay because of that? I need a little more.
But he wasn't passed out though. He was still able to talk to me. He was like doing that like that was like a comfort position for him, y'all. I was like, what is going on? So, anyways, he was in this position, and I didn't want him to know that I'm clocking his teeth. So I'm just like, I didn't say anything or whatever. And but that was the last straw for me. I'm like, I need to know if this man is gay. Like, I have mentioned it to him previously, like, oh, Ray told me about that story from college, and he was just like, man, that guy was tripping. So I did kind of ask him, and he just denied it. But I really needed to know for myself. So, anyways, he ended up falling asleep, not in that position. He ended up getting out of that position and falling asleep. And I knew his password to his phone. It was always the same. So I went through his phone, y'all. I do not go through people's phones. Mind you, we were together for a minute, and I never went through his phone. Probably like once or twice.
When people say they've been in a relationship for a minute, I automatically think a month. I automatically think a month. When people are not specific on the time frame that they've been in a relationship, I automatically think, oh yeah, they was dating 3 weeks, a month, maybe two. Cause why you just can't tell us how long y'all actually was together? A minute. What is a minute? What is that?
I never found anything, but I don't go through people's phones. But I had to know. So, anyways, come back for part 2 to know what I found in that phone and how I found the tea about this man's sexuality. I found out the.
Chad, I really hope part two give some reasoning because she said a bunch of nothing in part one. And that's just my opinion. Let's continue.
So this is part 2 to how I found out that my ex was gay through Cashapp. So, anyways, he had fell asleep and I started looking through his phone or whatever. And the first thing I did was just look through his text messages. I used certain words just to try to see if anything would come up. Mind you, the man didn't have much in his phone, which is weird. Like every time I ever did go through his phone in the past, there wasn't much. Like he would clean his phone every day or something like that. Anyways, so I went through his phone. There wasn't much, but I did see that there was this one thread, and it was a Mexican man. It was a picture of a Mexican man, and it was no name, and it was a number, and the guy's contact photo, and all it was a picture of my ex sent to this man, and it wasn't like maybe like a work picture or anything like that. It was literally like a picture he took of himself like this in the bed, like laid up. And it was like he had, I am not even trying to laugh. And he had like this certain like smirk, like he was trying to be cute. I don't know. So anyways, I saw that and I was like, that's weird. But then again, I still wasn't trying to call it anything. Like I was like, okay, that was weird, but oh well, like whatever, next. So then at the time, I had this friend who put me onto this whole, like, if you're ever going through someone's phone, look through their Cash App. And mind you, I never did that before. I never thought of it, but it was just a coincidence. Like that week, my friend was talking about going through people's Cash Apps. That's where they dirt is. So anyways, I went through this man's Cash App. And it was a whole bunch going on. A few cents here, a few cents there, payments here, payments there. Nothing looked too weird until I got to this one payment. It was $100 and it looked like a female, like a woman. And something told me to click on it, and I did. And when I clicked on it and I like looked at the picture closer, it was a trans woman. The picture was a trans woman, and I still didn't want to believe it. I was like, and I have nothing against trans women. I totally support trans women, mind you. That's not the problem. The problem is he claimed that that's not what he was into. So anyways, I saw the picture and I assumed it to be a trans woman. And so I took the name and I put it into IG. And as soon as I put it into IG, I find the page that had the same exact photo. And so, come to find out, the girl's page was open. It was a trans woman, and she actually lived in New York. Mind you, we live in California. So I was like, oh, okay. So he got him a little boo, out the way, whatever. And so I hit up the woman, and I didn't know if she was going to respond. I was like, this is kind of weird. I just needed to know. I mean, I needed to know. So anyways, I messaged her and I'm thinking she ain't gonna respond. She responded back in like 2 minutes before I could even leave the Instagram app. Like I see her text me back. And I was just pretty much like, oh, do you know anyone named Joey? And at first she was kind of like, what the fuck? Like she did not want to agree. She was just like, no, like Joey who? What are you talking about? Then I explained further. And she still was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, well, I just saw that, my boyfriend, I lied and said it was my boyfriend. It wasn't, it was my ex. I said, well, I just seen my boyfriend was sending a few, like, a few cash apps out to a bunch of different women.
Baby, was he a boyfriend or not? Or was you just sleeping with the man and just doing extra shit? Because you said, I lied and said my boyfriend, but he's really my ex. He really is not. Was you just effing him? Was y'all really in a relationship or what? Because it's giving, I'm just trying to snoop and find out stuff before I actually commit myself or before he actually decide he want to commit himself to me. But anyways, let's continue. I could be wrong. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think.
Hey, if you were this girl. And I guess the fact that I said something about multiple women he was sending cash apps to, she was offended. Oh, then she started to get to singing. So once I mentioned that he was sending money to all different girls, I guess that pissed her off. So she was like, actually, yes, I do know Joey. We've been talking for about 3 weeks. So mind you, we've been talking for about 3 weeks. We only hung out one time. I didn't ask how they hung out or like who flew where. It was not my business. I was just like, what? And then she said, we didn't do it, but we messed around. And I don't know what messed around me, but that was enough. And then she was just also like, and he knew exactly who I was, and he knew exactly who I was from the beginning. Like, it was not a surprise. I didn't have to like bring it on to him. He knew exactly who I was. So pretty much that's all she gave me, and that's all I needed. So I was just like, oh, thank you. She was really sweet. Like, I forgot exactly what was said. This was a long time ago. But I do remember like our last bits of conversation was just like, okay, girl, you cute, you cute. Anyways, so I'm gonna give the girl the name TT or whatever. I don't know if I named her already. We're gonna name her TT. So, anyways, I get on the phone with him and I pretty much confront him. I'm like, so who is TT? And he was just like, that's nobody. And I did admit to going through his phone. I was like, well, I seen that you sent TT $100. Like, what's that about? And he was like, cussing me out. He was like, what the F? Why are you going through my phone? Why are you going through stuff? That's nothing. Like, that was for my friend. Like, he's claiming that the money was sent off of his Cash App to a friend or whatever. And he was just pretty much going off. But at this time, I'm thinking like, you know what? I know what I know. I'm gonna stop lying to myself. It is what it is or whatever. And I just said, okay, you got it. And I just ended the phone call. And then after that, I pretty much went no contact and I didn't even deal with him. Like, that's all that I took from it. So mind you, I'm living my life and I'm just like, okay, for me, it's 100% facts. Like, it is what it is. There's too many signs. I got the tea from the girl. I didn't really get any receipts, but I was like, whatever. I took it for what it was. I didn't want to keep lying to myself. Like, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. So anyways, I just let it go and it's not my business anymore. Move on with your life. I'm gonna move on with mine. So, anyways, as time goes on, months later, I'm just chilling in my house and I get a call. And the call is from Joey. And Joey is like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for everything. Did you hear what happened? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear what happened. What happened? And he's like, oh, all right, well, nothing. And I'm just like, what is going on? Sorry for what? What should I be concerned? So, anyways, mind you, I don't live in the city we once lived in. I don't keep up with anybody. I don't know the tea. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, anyways, I ended up reaching out to someone who lives in the city. I'm like, what's going on with Joey? Like, he called me saying he's sorry for da 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 da. And somebody told me, why did Joey's cousin, who was like his best friend, pretty much out him all over social media with all the receipts about him being gay? It was all on social media. I screen recorded everything.
It's like it's too many holes in the story. It's too many gaps in the story, and it's just too many missing pieces. Like it's like she's skipping over certain parts to fit her narrative. That's just my opinion. Let's continue.
The day, I do not judge him for that. I judge him for the fact that you can't just keep it 100. I know that's not an easy thing to do, but at the same time, it's wrong to be dealing with a woman who's expecting to deal with a straight man. So the moral of the story is, if someone is sus, check that Cash App, check that Zelle. When you're doing these investigations about your man, also make sure and see if he's gay. And also, to the TT girl, if you are seeing this, you know it's all love. Like, no shame.
All right, guys, that sums up this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My closing thoughts is I feel like she didn't really didn't have any. I'm not gonna say it didn't happen to her. Not gonna discredit her of that. It's just I'm not very convinced. You know, everybody's storytelling is different, and it could have very well happened to her the way she stated. But I don't know. It's too many loopholes, too many holes in the story. I don't know. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, peace.